So, you're thinking about getting a ball python, or you have a ball python and are wondering if you are getting their environment right. Should I use overhead heat or should I use belly heat? Which would help my ball python thrive? What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? It's 42. My name is John, and this is Ripley's Reptiles. Whoop whoop! Way back in the ancient times of 2020, I was enjoying my small reptile collection, including my only snake, a gorgeous hypo-striped corn snake. After a while, I became a little obsessed with browsing Morph Market to look at what seemed like an infinite variety of ball python morphs. My two favorites were the Blue-Eyed Lucy and the Banana. I had the hardest time deciding, but in the end, I went with the Blue-Eyed Leucistic, or Blue-Eyed Lucy, and named her Stella. My lovely wife was leaning the other way, so she brought home a banana ball python. Just a few days later, I took one look at her and I said, "Hey, I made a decision and you go out and get another one?" Of course, this didn't happen. I went with her to pick him out and was totally excited about it. Initially, we kept both baby snakes in tubs with plenty of ventilation and count them, 4 lid latches to ensure no escape. We got them a heating pad, a thermostat, and went about trying to get them to eat every week. If you're ever having trouble with any of your snakes, getting them to eat, look at their environment. Do some research. Keep trying and you will get there. This is what I was doing, and failing miserably for a good month or two. When you get into it, we all find that there are so many varying opinions on the right way to house ball pythons. I am here to share with you what I chose to do, how I succeeded in getting both of my ball pythons to eat regularly, like a mouse. After many hours of YouTube research, I decided to have 2 black PVC enclosures built for me by a local breeder who sells custom enclosures. 36 inches by 24 by 12 with sliding polycarbonate locking doors. I decided for simple LED strip lighting and ReptiChip premium coconut husk to help maintain humidity levels. Humidity is important. Without it, your ball pythons will struggle to shed properly. Depending on where you live, this may or may not be an issue. I live in Arizona and we are, well, it's a dry heat. I was still torn on the heating method. I couldn't make a decision, so I decided to try both. Overhead radiant heat panel for Bowie the banana ball python, underbelly heating pad for Stella, both controlled by a thermostat. The placement of your temperature probe is very important. Make sure this is secured in place on the heat mat inside the enclosure or under the radiant heat panel to ensure the temp is controlled properly where your snake goes for heat. Bowie, the banana, was the recipient of the overhead heating. Based on research and recommendations, I decided to use a Pro Products Pro Heat Radiant panel. Trust me, look them up and give them a call. They'll ask you some questions about your enclosure and make sure you have the right model for you. They are fantastic. Stella received a good old-fashioned heating pad, and the next thing you know, it was move-in day for the young snakes. Right away, I figured out what the main difference would be: maintaining the proper humidity levels of 50 to 60%. This may seem obvious to an experienced keeper, but this was something I had to experience to understand. Due to the radiant heat in Bowie's enclosure, the humidity burned off so much faster than Stella's enclosure. So much so that I developed carpal tunnel syndrome from spraying the enclosure down every few days. Stella's enclosure would maintain the proper level with a quick spray down maybe once every 2 weeks or so. I did find a pressure sprayer that made this process so much easier for Bowie's enclosure. I needed time to see which was the better solution, and honestly, it's hard to say. While Bowie's enclosure takes more time and effort to maintain, he does seem to venture out more than Stella during the day. At night, they both explore and climb on everything. Stella's enclosure takes no time at all to maintain humidity, but she is a little more reclusive. This difference could simply be the personality of the animal, but the important thing is both snakes never refuse a meal, both snakes are healthy, and both snakes are shedding very well. This is not to say that it was a walk in the park. Bowie refused to eat the first month or so and required hand feeding. Maybe I will do a video on how to do this someday, but it is not my favorite thing to do, and does come with an above average chance of being bit. Yes, I have been bit, but seriously, a house cat does way more damage to your skin than a ball python bite. Didn't hurt at all, actually. So there you have it. Which is better? You make the choice. For me, the heating pad takes less of my time, but the radiant heat panel seems to keep them more active. I am not an expert, just a guy who likes to figure things out for myself. The one thing I suggest wholeheartedly is to observe your animals and watch for signs of trouble. Handle them, keep track of their feedings, and above all, enjoy these beautiful and gentle creatures. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Feel free to suggest ideas for new videos. Till next time, fellow keepers.